Good afternoon, grade 6B. Today I'll be talking about Marie Curie. So, introduction. Maria Curie was born in Warsaw, Poland, November 17, 1867. She traveled to France with her sister to study physics and math because in Poland they didn't allow girls to study. She married a scientist called Pierre Curie and had two children, first called Yvette and another called Irene. Together, Marie and Pierre discovered two new elements, polonium and radium, named after her country. In 1903, they shared the Nobel Prize Award for Physics, which for their work on radiation, which is energy given off as waves or high-speed particles. In 1906, she was the first woman physics professor at Sorbonne. And then, surprisingly, in 1911, she won a Nobel Prize again in chemistry. Curie started to use her work to save lives, and then she discovered that radium and polonium were important because the elements were actually radioactive, which meant then when the atoms broke, they gave invisible rays that could pass through solid matter. She used her understanding of radioactivity to help the X-ray to take stronger photos. Marie Curie also found that pitch bend, this kind of rock, gave more radiation than uranium that she extracted from. In 1914, she created a kind of unit that could be driven to battlefields and hospitals in France. Right there. The units were often operated by women. After the war ended in 1918, Curie returned to her lab to continue working with radioactive elements, but they could be very dangerous. On July 4, 1934, Marie Curie passed away at the age of 66 from a kind of disease called leukemia, and her husband also passed away when he got hit by a horse-drawn wagon. Fun fact, did you know that Marie kept vials of radium in her pocket and next to her bed before she slept, because she liked the glow, but she didn't know it would be very dangerous, so now, 90 years later, her body's still radioactive. Polonium is a radioactive element named after Poland by its discoveries, Marie and Pierre Curie. It's a silver-gray metal found in uranium that glows blue. The X-ray diagram. An X-ray works by sending a small invisible ray through your body, like an invisible light, right here. So your bones and your organs absorb some of this energy. Meaning of words. Cathode is the negative side of the X-ray. It has a filament that heats up and releases electrons. And anode, right here, is the positive side. It's usually made of metal like tungsten. Marie Curie. Marie Curie converts nuclear energy into electrical energy in nuclear power plants, which is a kind of thing like this, where the water flows like a waterfall and then spins around. This is where I got my information. Thank you.
Well done, good work.